In the glittering streets of Lagos, one man lived like a king. He wore clothes that cost more than most people's yearly rent. He stepped out of cars so luxurious, people stopped on the road just to watch him pass. Conversations circled around him everywhere, some in admiration, some in envy, some in doubt. His name was Hush. To many, he was the face of the Lagos dream. To others, he was a question without an answer. Where did all this money come from? How did a man with no known business become one of the loudest voices of wealth in the city? Behind the bright lights, behind the flashy photos, behind the laughter that echoed in expensive nightclubs, there was a truth Hush tried to hide. A truth that would one day tear everything apart. Because the story of Hush is not just the story of a man who wanted wealth. It is the story of how far someone will go when greed takes hold. It is the story of how one wrong step can lead to a path with no return. And today, we uncover the true life story of Hush, the Lagos-based fraudster whose greed became his curse. Hush was not born into riches. His early days were marked by struggle, like so many young men in the bustling neighborhoods of Lagos. He watched his mother fight to put food on the table. He saw his father wrestle with odd jobs just to keep the family afloat. The streets taught him early that Lagos is not kind to the poor. If you have nothing, you are invisible. If you look hungry, people treat you like dust. But if you drive a fine car, even strangers greet you with respect. And Hush wanted respect. He wanted to be noticed, admired, feared even. He was not content with waiting for life to reward patience and hard work. He wanted more, fast. He wanted to be seen. In the markets, he would watch the wealthy drive past in convoys, windows tinted, music blasting, their clothes shining with foreign labels. And deep inside, he made a silent promise: one day, people will look at me the same way. But there are two roads to wealth, one built on sweat, the other built on deceit. And Hush chose the one that looked easier. As the elders say, the road that seems shorter is sometimes the one filled with thorns. His first taste of easy money came through small tricks, petty scams that seemed harmless to him at the time. A little deception here, a little lie there, and suddenly he had cash in his pocket that no ordinary job could give. He told himself it was only temporary. He told himself it was survival. But the money was sweet, and soon, survival turned into ambition. With each trick that worked, his confidence grew. He began to believe he was smarter than the rest. He began to see himself not as a criminal, but as someone who had discovered a secret shortcut. The saying goes, the thief believes he is clever until the day his shadow betrays him. But Hush didn't care. The city of Lagos was applauding him, and he loved the applause. By his mid-20s, Hush had climbed higher than most men twice his age. He no longer mingled with the average hustler on the street. His circle grew richer, flashier, louder. He built an image of success. Designer clothes, watches that sparkled under the Lagos sun, cars that turned heads in every neighborhood. People began to talk about him as if he was untouchable. Hush had mastered the art of showmanship. Every photo he posted, every appearance he made, was a statement: I have arrived. And in a city where many measure success by what they see, Hush became a role model for the wrong reasons. Young men admired him. Young women chased him. But behind the cheers, questions lingered. Some asked, what work does he do? Others said, money that comes too fast is money that carries trouble. Still, Hush didn't slow down. Like the tortoise who borrowed feathers to fly, he was soaring. But feathers borrowed are never permanent. Hush's life turned into a spectacle. Expensive clubs, champagne bottles lined on tables, friends and strangers flocking to be seen with him. Trips abroad, photos in front of private jets, designer labels from head to toe. On social media, he painted himself as a global businessman. He called himself an investor, a real estate mogul, a tycoon. But those who looked closer saw that no real business was happening. Money was flowing, but from shadows. Hush had mastered internet fraud, scamming individuals and even companies across borders. Millions passed through his hands. And yet, like all fraudsters, he forgot one simple truth: the same hand that gives you fast money is the hand that will snatch it away. He had friends, but they were friends of convenience. As long as the bottles flowed, as long as gifts came, as long as parties never ended, they were loyal. But true loyalty is only tested when the music stops. Some of those close to him warned him in quiet moments. They said, "Hush, slow down. Don't let the world know everything you own." But he laughed. To him, life was a stage, and he was the star. Hush believed in the power of display. He thought the more he showed, the more he was respected. But the same show that brought him fame also attracted hunters. Authorities were watching. Not just in Nigeria, but across oceans. Every picture he posted, every word he typed online, every flight he took, it all became evidence. Some say it was greed that betrayed him. Others say it was envy, friends turned informants. But whichever it was, the hunters had begun to trace his steps. And the hunters were patient. They did not rush. They let him dance, let him enjoy, let him believe he was untouchable. Until the day came when the drums stopped. One night, as Hush slept comfortably in foreign luxury, the walls came crashing in. Authorities stormed his residence. Doors broken, alarms ringing, shouts filling the air. Hush was taken away, not as a king, but as a criminal. The same friends who once sang his praises scattered like birds at the sound of a hunter's gun. The same public that once admired him now pointed fingers, shaking their heads. From the height of fame, he fell into shame. From the man everyone wanted to be, he became the man everyone pitied. The same internet where he flaunted wealth now carried the news of his arrest. The same stage he used to shine became the very place of his disgrace. As one proverb says, the same yam that fills the stomach can also choke the throat. The story of Hush is a mirror for all who chase shortcuts. He thought money alone would give him peace. Instead, it became his prison. He thought applause would last forever. Instead, it turned into silence. There is a reason elders always warn: wealth without sweat is wealth without roots. And wealth without roots can never stand. Think of the mothers who prayed for their sons, warning them to avoid quick money. Think of the fathers who told their boys, a goat that strays from the herd becomes food for the lion. Hush ignored every warning. And when the lion came, he was alone. His story is not just about fraud. It is about choices. It is about the hunger that blinds people to the dangers ahead. It is about the lie that quick money tells, before it destroys. And so, Hush, once the pride of the Lagos nightlife, became an example the world will never forget. He thought he was too smart to be caught, too powerful to be questioned, too loved to be abandoned. But the truth is simple: the thief may run for 20 years, but one day, justice will catch him. Now I ask you, what do you think truly destroyed Hush? Was it betrayal by those closest to him? Or was it his own greed, louder than any warning he ever received? Share your thoughts below. Because this is not just the story of Hush. It is the story of every person who believes that lies can build a lasting crown.